Here we are at auction.com, where I'm going to demonstrate why auction.com is not your friend if your business is to buy properties at the public county auction. So let's go to the Miami-Dade County Auction. I have it open here. And if we were to go in, all I did, went to the calendar, and I went to May 21st, which is the first day of next week. We see the first property here is 5181 Northwest 108th Path in Doral, Florida. Now, I have not pre-checked any of this. I just want to be able to illustrate a concept. So, we're going to search this property because surely auction.com should have this property that's going at the foreclosure auction. And the first thing that I see when I search for it is 0 results. Let me just double check and make sure that I'm not seeing it anywhere. So if I wanted to know more about this property, I wouldn't be able to find anything on it on auction.com. Now let's go down. Let's see if there's one that looks kind of appetizing because it has a low final judgment. Let's see. Something look like maybe a potential deal. Ooh, 30,000. Let's take a look at this and see if it's a potential deal on auction.com. Nothing. Now, if only there were a place that could show me some information about this property. You know, I can go to the property appraiser, but then I have to start doing all that research and figuring out what's going on. What if I could just see the property with all the information already ready to go? So I'm going to go over to auctionai.info and use Auction Artificial Intelligence, and this is a beta software, so it may or may not have the property, but let's just see. Wow. So here's the property on Auction Artificial Intelligence. And when I go look at the property, here's the breakdown that I get. I see it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, 859 square foot property. It's 31 years old. It's worth $112,000 for sale at the 521 foreclosure auction. 2.2, 859 square feet. And it looks like I have a Research Quick Assist. And the Research Quick Assist, if you know anything about buying properties at the auction, the most important thing that you need to do is your due diligence. Because buying a property at the auction means you're buying a distressed property. You're buying a financially distressed property, which has one or more liens against it. And why it's at the auction is because one of the liens has gone all the way through the court procedures, and a judge has ordered that a amount is due, and for that amount to be paid, it is going to go for sale at the public auction. So the first thing you need to do is then go check and see if there's anyone else who has any liens against the property which can affect the profitability of the deal. So from an Auction AI, we can click right to the property appraiser. We can go right to the tax collector. We can see on Zillow what's going on. Sometimes it... Oh, here we go. 8208. I just had to get rid of that 8 and it loaded up. So we have a Zestimate of $178,000. And then it goes right to the public search where you can look for the documents. And if we go down, we see the map and we see a bunch of information. We see the assessed value, which is that value we saw on the auction site, $66,000. We see the market value, and then we have an average market value. So you can see what Auction AI is doing is averaging the values to be able to give you a more accurate number. Then we have the most recent sale information. So we see that the most recent sale was in June 2005 for $189,000, and the most recent sale document is right there, and the sales which are qualified are right there as well. So this is the sale description. So you know this property was deeded over in 2005 for $189,000, and since it's a qualified sale, what that means is most likely a warranty deed of some sort which expunged any of the debts that came before 6/2005. So when figuring out who the lien holder is, we would want to search by this name, Arelis Cabrera, in the public record to find out what other liens or judgments are coming against her name and if they have entered the foreclosure process. Now we see all the property information, parcel ID, verified address, beds, baths, square footage, address, the age of the property, beds, baths, floors, living size, lot size, latitude, longitude, the rank. Now, the rank is a very interesting property because the rank looks at all the attributes of the property, the age, the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the square footage, and it comes up and it compares it to all the other properties in the database, which right now is 4,107. And out of the 4,107, this property is ranked 1,687 of 4,107 properties. So it is 58.9% better. It is better than 58.9% of all the other properties in the database. And there is 41.1% of the properties which are better, bigger, more square footage, newer. So that's what that means. Then we have the final judgment. The plaintiff and defendant, we should be having that come soon, but we have the case number and the tax deed. If there is a tax deed action going on, we would have that information. Then we have the deal calculation. So the potential profit is the average market value minus the final judgment. That means there's $82,000 in potential profit if you were to sell it at the average market value and buy it at the final judgment amount. Now, if you have to bid up more, this number goes down, but we won't know that until the auction passes. So rent for, this is something that we are working on. It's an experimental value that, based on what everything else is renting for, everything that we could either verify a rentable price for this property, or if there's not, we will be generating one based on the average rents, and we're working on different formulas to make it more accurate. Now here's where you can buy percentage of the fair market value. So this property is starting at auction for 30% of its fair market value, leaving 69.6% of the potential equity. It's potential because we do not know what other mortgages are in place which could affect the equity. The recent sales history, we'll have all the recent sales that we can find on the property going into the past. All tax bills. So we see that there's a taxes due number, and we want to expound on that by adding all the years that are available and when it was paid and how it was paid to see if there's any tax deed or anything else going on. List of owner names with estimate owner period. This is where we're going to have the name of the person or the names of the people that bought it, when they bought it, and when they sold it. So we'll see when they have one deed, and then when they're on the other side, and when that date is, and that's coming soon. We're going to have the documents of interest. So from the public records, Auction Artificial Intelligence is going to go in and mine the data based on all the names that should be researched, and return all the documents which are found based on those names, which are a document of interest because they may or may not be related to the property, but you'll be able to see it on the Auction AI dashboard. Then you'll be able to see the cases of interest. So by searching all the names, you'll be able to see all the cases and when they're happening, what state status they're in, and their case number. Then you'll be able to see the dockets of interest, and the dockets are inside each case, and it's the individual actions of each case. So if there's a motion or an order, those would appear on the dockets of interest. Now the full sales history is going to go beyond the recent sales history and see if there's any more sales that are found and their complete data. The list pendants case analysis is going to look at how many list pendances were found and then how many foreclosure cases were found. And these numbers, if everything's lining up, they should be equal. And if they're not, then that's a sign that something's up, that there's some cases that are not accounted for or so forth. Or some list pendances not accounting for cases not accounting for list pendants. Then the list pendants lien analysis is to give you an idea of how many list pendances and liens were found, just the list pendances and liens. The mortgage and release ratio is to point out if there's more releases than mortgages, more mortgages than releases, which will give you an idea if there's outstanding mortgages. And then the key document count, or if you're finding more mortgages than you should be, or more releases than you should be. A key document count will give you an overview of the aggregate of each document so that you have an overview of what has been found and the sheer volume that needs to be looked through. And the counterparties of interest is anyone who has filed something against the owner. So against any of the owners, we have all the names of the people who were owners. These are all the names of the people who weren't the owner but filed something against the owner. So that's why they're the counterparty. Then we have a map, which gives you a little bird's eye view of what's nearby the property. We have different levels of the map. We have the interactive map. We have the street view when it's available, and we have an image when it's available. We have the close-up satellite of usually the house or the complex, so you can see nice and close what's going on. And then you can see down here, landmarks. That's what this map is really for. So you see there's a Sam's Club, there's a Turnpike, there's an Olive Garden. You can see the landmarks that are near the property. And then there's a disclaimer. So this is just one property, not on auction.com. So if you're looking for this property, let me just make sure. 0 results. It's all asset types. Nothing. So I don't know how many properties. So what we could do actually is let's go to foreclosure sale. And let's just look Miami-Dade County. And we see there's 242 foreclosure sales. So these are all estimated for auction. So let's see some of the ones that pop up, and let's see on the other side if they show up on Auction AI. So let's search. Nothing found. Now, I think I know why nothing was found, because I searched far too much. I think if I just search the beginning of the address. Maybe not. Maybe it's not on Auction Artificial Intelligence. And that is something we will have to look at. But that is not the case, because here it is. So here's this property, and we can compare side by side now that we have a property that does have. So there's a lot of properties that are not on auction.com. But the ones that are, let's compare the information that you get with Auction AI versus auction.com. So let's move this over, put these side by side. Okay. And let's click into here. So we have here, we have the address, 1100 square feet. Yep. Condo, occupancy status unknown. Do not disturb occupant. There's some photos. There's the title information. Pulled May 7th, 2018. So that's not too bad. But once again, it's delayed, because May 7th is still days away from right now. Property type, lot size, year built, case number, property ID. So that's everything that we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then we have the title information. I believe we have an account. Alright, there we go. So we can see they have the title information, and now what they're doing is they're going to First American Data Tree, and they're going to get the title information. But what we can see, so it's saying that there's a mortgage 2007, and it was assigned in 2010. Oh, there's 2005, 109, and then it was released. And then there's another one. So we can even check some of their data right here. Let's copy the name. Let's go to the public records. Because what we're going to find is that even with the title information from First American Data Tree, it's not always right. Nancy Levrose. It may be the other way around. Levrose Nancy. 5TMKCJ. Search. Judgment. Satisfaction of mortgage. 2004, 2017 satisfaction of mortgage. Okay. So let's see if we see that 9/7/2005, 9/7/2005. So here's that mortgage for $23,000. Right? This is 23,000. Yep. Okay, 23,000. Then there's that one 8/2/2005 to 2005. This mortgage. And then where's it saying there's that other one? So it's saying the open lien 8/2007. 8/2007. $164. Okay. Okay, so that's definitely that mortgage. 8/2007. Now what's not included is the book and page number. And this is what will be included because you always have to verify what they're showing you. Now what we see here is it looks like the bank started a foreclosure on that mortgage. And I think that's who is foreclosing now, as a matter of fact. Because this property is going for sale for how much? See, they don't, where do they show the estimated debt? Estimated lender's max bid undisclosed. But on Auction AI, we already know it's $121,000. So I don't know why they're not showing it, but that makes it kind of hard. And then full event details. Available. Oh, Florida trustee auction. Florida public auction sale. So you can actually see all available. May 21st. So they have 37 properties. Auction starts invalid date 86. So how many are actually available? $32.15. So what are they saying? Download inventory. Right? So here we go. Here's the best that auction.com has to offer. And does it have the date? 5/21. 2, 3, 4. Some have it. Oh, Jacksonville. So here's what's really going on. Here you could really see it in black and white. There is a handful of the auction properties that you can see. Some in Miami-Dade, some in Broward, some in Hillsborough. So Miami-Dade for 521, it's saying there's 14, when in reality there's 57 on the 22nd in Miami-Dade. So while auction.com looks at a bunch of counties, they only look at a small amount of a bunch of counties, and it definitely looks like it's a manual kind of process where there could be some errors. I'm seeing some discrepancies with how the parcel ID and just everything really looks like. So here we go. Broward, they have a bunch. 522 in Broward. They're saying there's 24. But if we go to Broward and we go to the 22nd, there's 65 active properties and 73 total. So you're missing 25 to 75. You're missing a third of the properties. Just about a third of the properties. So how are you supposed to find deals when you're trusting auction.com? Auction.com has 3 deals in Miami-Dade on the 22nd. While there are 22 total, 15 active. So it really is a crapshoot in if you're trying to use auction.com as your data source. Your only other alternative then becomes going to, let's see, Hubzu. Let's try Hubzu.com. Hubzu.com. Let's go back to the auction site. Let's try Broward. So Broward, the 22nd. Zero. Let's try the second property. And let's try that property on Auction A.I. Here it is. Auction A.I. It's posted on May 18th or updated on May 18th with all the information. Let's try this next one. I mean, we could try any of these. This is why we made Auction A.I. We didn't make Auction.com. We made Auction A.I. This is why we created Auction A.I. because no one is doing this. The people who are making sites to marketably show you the properties are not covering these sites. And these sites are not built to be marketed. It's built just for the county clerk to be able to move the inventory and for them to be able to earn their 5% and keep the gears of the foreclosure process running. I think there's another one. Zomi. Let's just try that again. And we'll even try on Zillow. See what kind of information there is. Ooh. Pending. This one seems to have actually... Well, it looks like it was listing. Pending. Listed. So it looks like this property has been listed. But I'm not seeing any information about the auction. It has comparables. And all this is coming to Auction A.I. Comparables and median sales price and months of supply. All this is coming to Auction A.I. But this is really for retail. This is not for auctions. I don't see anything about the auction. And the auction's coming up, next week, so in just a couple days. So if you're an investor, or if you're anyone looking at it, you should be able to at least see that that's going on. 0 results. Let's try Zillow. I want to wrap this up pretty soon, but I think you see it. Zillow definitely has it. But let's see if there's an auction date. Removed. Home expenses. I'm definitely not seeing anything else about it. But there's plenty of information, but nothing about the auction. So I'm going to wrap up this video. If you need more proof, I urge you to try it yourself. And if you see anything that auction artificial intelligence is missing, which I'm sure it is not a perfect system. It is in beta. We are currently, this is really a prototype site. The site is going to be taking on a major rehaul very shortly as our developers finish up the more finalized version of Auction AI. It's always growing, it's always changing, so I don't want to say that it's going to be done, because right now what we can say is that we are looking at as many properties as we can in Miami-Dade and Broward County. We do have some Palm Beach properties. Palm Beach just changed their property appraiser and some of their information, so we are reworking it. So I would not say that those are up to date. But Miami-Dade County and Broward County are exemplary examples of what Auction AI is capable of in terms of the volume of properties and information that comes with each property. I want to thank you for watching this video.